Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Russia just launched, I think, the most massive missile attack since it started its military operation, special military operation. They launched 120 plus missiles today, the 29th of December 2022. The Ukrainians claim they shot at one point 54 missiles. The Russians attacked Kiev, Odessa and Lviv. Big destruction, great destruction, unfortunately. They destroyed infrastructure in those three cities, at least. Communique coming from the Ukrainians said that the Russians attacked west, south, north, east, center, basically everywhere. And here I have these articles to tell you what the destruction, what the consequences were of that. This, I think, it was the most massive missile attack so far. I don't remember reading in all these 11 months of such a big number of Russian missiles launched over Ukraine. But hey, maybe sometimes, not maybe, we forget stuff, but I don't remember more than 120, as these guys said they launched right now. So one article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine, and it's obviously from today, the 29th of December. And the headline reads, 90% of Lviv in blackout following Russian mass missile strike. 90%. What's strange is that the Ukrainians claim they shot down many missiles, but somehow with little missiles that trickled and were capable to land, and with the low efficacy or efficiency, accuracy of the Russian missiles, again according to the weasels from the West, they are able to cause this much destruction. So imagine if, let's say, the Ukrainians would not shoot down any Russian missiles. That means the whole thing would be like flattened or something. Now I know that you don't send one missile towards one target, because you know the enemy's air defense capabilities might be very good. You send 3 or 4 or 5 on the same target, and let's say sometimes you are able to successfully hit that target with 1 out of 5, sometimes with 5 out of 5. But you don't take a chance, okay, we're gonna have only one missile for that, one missile for that, one missile for that. No, it's gonna be like 7 missiles for that, 3 missiles for that, 5 missiles for that, depending also according to what information you got on their defense systems of that area. So maybe that's why the the Russians are capable of destroying so much with these little missiles that, according to the Ukrainians, are able to escape the air defense systems of Ukraine. So let's see, Lviv, 90% have been cut off of power. So the grand majority of Lviv residents, around 90%, have been cut off of power following explosions in the city caused by a Russian mass missile strike on December 29. Lviv Mayor Andriy Sadovy said on Telegram, 90% of Lviv is without light. Well, why don't you call Washington DC? They're gonna bring you some with buckets. I don't want to start on that one anyway. And I'm quoting, we are waiting for additional information from energy experts. Why, they're going to poop some energy or something? Trams and trolley buses do not run in the city. There may be interruptions with the water supply. We are switching critical infrastructure facilities to diesel generators, end quote. The air raids sirens on December 29 rang for 4 hours and 45 minutes, during which time Russia launched over 120 missiles towards Ukrainian targets. According to the presidential administration, Lviv Oblast Governor Maxim Kozitsky warned that the threat of repeated strikes persists and urged residents to stay in shelters during air raids. The Ukrainians say at one point they intercepted 54 out of 69 missiles launched in mass attack on December 29. Another question actually is bashing that idiot. Not idiot, probably he's just doing his job of disinforming the public. And I'm talking about the British military intelligence department, Mr. Ben Wallace, remember the name? On the 24th of December 2022, I made a video on his assessment. It was not like believing or guessing. You're an intelligent blah blah blah, the chief, right? So your information must be hard evidence that you got. He came in front of the world and said that Russia is incapable of conducting another massive missile attack on Ukraine because it lacks missiles and rockets. And here we have it. After what, 5 days? We're on it again. And I said I will repeat it and I will pound it like a this thing, because I knew that guy is giving disinformation. That's what he's engaged in, disinformation. Then I said I will, and I said I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting, and here you go. 5 days. These guys are launching the biggest, I would say, missile attack. Is that because of the attack that Ukrainians conducted? What, 750 kilometers inside Russia? What, 2 days ago with that jet-propelled drone? They tried to destroy the Angles Russian military strategic nuclear bombers. Are they crazy? Well, you get this one. Maybe this is the last batch. We'll see now when the Ukrainians are coming and say, well, that definitely, cross my heart, hope to die, swear God, anything else, that Russia, this was the last batch of Russian missiles. No more. And in January 7 is going to be another one or something. I'm, again, bet my whatever on it. Now we find out from Ukrinform that 40% of Kiev residents without electricity after Russian missile attack, Klitschko, Pam said. Well, again, let's read this one. So 40% of Kiev residents without electricity after Russian missile attack, Klitschko said. In connection with the security measures taken by power engineers during an air raid alert, 40% of consumers remain without electricity in the city of Kiev. Power supply is currently being restored. And I'm quoting, 40% of the capital's consumers are without electricity after the missile attacks. This is due to the necessary safety measure introduced by power engineers during an air and what? This is due to the necessary safety measure. So they turn it off? Okay, so they turn it off. And the Russians okay, go back. They turn it off. No. Anyway, man. Power engineers are currently working on restoring the power supply. I hope they do. For the good of the people. But you guys over there, you should do something else. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. That's what the Ukrainians are doing here. The mayor noted the city supplies heat and water as usual, except for houses where there is no power supply on which the operation of boiler plants depends. So let's see what we have here in Odessa, because in Odessa they said that the Russians also attacked, but where is it? 5 enemy missiles shot down over the Black Sea. And here we have Odessa from Ukrinform, the 29th of December 2022. 21 Russian missiles shot down over Odessa. Out of how many? 50? Units of the Ukrainian Defense Forces have shot down 21 enemy missiles over Odessa region. The head of the regional military administration, Maxim Marchenko, said in his post on the messaging app Telegram, Ukrinform reports. Air defense units shot down 21 missiles over the region, end quote. I would like to know out of how many. I mean, that's great news for you guys, but if it's 21 out of 3,000, don't even bother to mention it. I'm just exaggerating, obviously. But if it's 21 out of 22, that's fantastic for you. He specified that fragments of one missile had hit a residential building with no casualties recorded. So that's only one escape, so that means they hit 21 out of 22. In addition, missile strikes damaged energy infrastructure, with energy power outages being introduced in the region. All services are working at the scene, he added. Early on Thursday, December 29, the enemy launched a massive missile attack on Ukraine, 120 missiles plus. Deputy head of President's office Kirilo Timoshenko said that in Odessa region, fragments of a cruise missile hit a residential building. Oh, bullshit. You see, they didn't mention how many came over. It's just how many they shot down. They must have known, or at least approximate. No, they don't give you that. That means they're kind of like sheepish to say, hey, 21 out of 82. I'm just obviously. So that's bad. But I made another video regarding the attack, the 120 plus missiles launched by Russia. How do I call it? Challenging Mr. Ben Wallace's poor assessment of the Russians' capabilities, which I wonder what would happen to him and the people who provided him with the intelligence that the Russians are done. Anything? No. I tell you why, and probably you already know the answer, is because the intelligence community is not only involved in providing accurate information, but it's also involved in misinformation. Not actually misinformation, because it's called disinformation. Misinformation is when you don't know, but you see something without even knowing. But these guys, I'm pretty sure they know but they keep talking. So thank you very much for being with me again today. I hope these guys in the handlers of Ukraine and their sponsors, the masters, will stop the carnage of the Ukrainian nation and talk with criminal Russians. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.